till or 22 till, because I'm going to announce the first piece at 20 till. The first piece being, what is the first one? Whir. Justin conducting it. That'll be the first one. Then we'll play those four. We'll have about a minute or two break, and we'll play Crown Imperial. Got it? So, get a drink, use the restroom. Don't sit here and play. Just blow a little warm air when you come back. Got it? All right. I didn't hear any.
I'll be like,
Yes, and that's all your body can do at this moment is just pass out.
and shake.
And cry.
So you're gonna use that for your. So what's your topic?
It's like everyone does. It's
Just an analysis type deal.
analysis and performance approach to diabetes.
Nice. That'll be good. Mine just my topic still feels like it's like in a thousand columns, but it's kind of yeah. I think Abby's doing kind of the analysis.
This is what we end up doing because it's easier.
Yeah. A lot of people end up doing that.
All the pieces that like they want to get to know. So on the it should have a new word like
Yeah.
that you then yeah.
That worked out really well. Yeah. Very true. You should totally do it. You could work with nomads like personally and do it. How cool would that be? Yeah. Has he ever done, I'm sure he's done exercises with them, but has he ever written them? Yeah. And then because what she did them in a we need her to do this.
Yeah, so it's like people get more performance out of it.
Yeah.
Just like the weight and motion that like I don't tell people to do that. Like the goal is like there's a lot of pieces that handle that can perform this is to allow that piece to perform scratch with vocals. You know, like
Well, I think that it would be a lot more work if he had that in it. Because he's not going to get that much play out of it. Especially because it's like, alto is pretty different on the system and things and stuff, you know?
the more time is work with pedagogically, like to help the vocals perform get with it.
What's your hobby? Okay.
On my website, it was,
It was, and then I changed it to pedagogy. So it's a little bit more like right now. I actually ran out of music ed classes to take, and so that's why I was like, I really kind of need to change it because I don't have any more music ed credits I can get towards a copy. Because I did my master's and I did a certificate in ed here. So I had to take all the extra ed classes and I'd already done them. So I was like, it worked out. Not for this. I was like, Thunderbirds, I'm creating this.
Good morning. Welcome to the May Commencement at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. My name is John Locke, and I'm Director of Bands at UNCG. And for your listening pleasure, prior to the processional, the UNCG Commencement Wind Ensemble will play several selections for your enjoyment. We open this morning with a work by British composer Ralph Hultgren entitled Whir, Whir, Whir. To conduct this piece, please welcome to the podium Mr. Justin Swaim of Winston-Salem, who today will receive his Master of Music degree in instrumental conducting. Justin. The next selection by the UNCG Commencement Wind Ensemble from the School of Music, Theater, and Dance will be a very popular march by the March King himself, John Philip Sousa. The march is entitled Hands Across the Sea. Please welcome back to the podium Mr. Justin Swaim. The next selection of the UNCG Commencement Wind Ensemble was composed by American composer James Curnow. The piece is entitled Fanfare Prelude on God of Our Fathers. To conduct, a young man who is pursuing his Doctor of Musical Arts degree in instrumental conducting, please welcome to the podium Mr. William Lake, Jr. Thank you. And for our final pre-commencement selection by the UNCG Commencement Wind Ensemble, we'd like to perform the third movement of the first suite in E-flat for a military band by Gustav Holst. And to return to the podium, Mr. William Lake, Jr.
Good morning. Please be seated. Yeah, even y'all in back, please be seated. Welcome to UNC Greensboro's May 2016 commencement. Let's do it. I'm Ann Wallace. I'm the chair of the faculty and of the Faculty Senate, and it's my great pleasure to be the one to welcome you all here today. I was planning to say it's a beautiful spring day outside, but I'm not sure I can go quite that far. It's been a little gloomy, a little damp, but I know that in this room, there is no gloom and there is no chill. I bring you congratulations on behalf of the entire faculty of UNC Greensboro. I know that we are not the most excited people inside this Coliseum. I think that's probably you. And then, after you, the graduates, I'm sure that your parents, your grandparents, your spouses and partners, your children and friends, they're probably second, but we're going to claim a close third there, because the faculty of this university are here because we've chosen to devote our lives to instruction and to learning of our own through our scholarship. And it is such an enormous gratification for each and every one of us to see you here today and to know that you've come to the end of this particular part of your journey. So congratulations, 2016 graduates. My other honor and pleasure today is to introduce our Chancellor, Frank Gilliam. As you know, this is the end of Frank's first year on campus. I would have a lot to say about Chancellor Gilliam, except that he has been so able and so warm in making himself known to every aspect of this university community that I don't think I can add very much more. I will just say this is a time of partisan political turmoil in our country and in our state, and I cannot tell you what a comfort it has been to have strong, calm, principled leadership in our Chancellor. Here he is, Frank Gilliam.
Good morning. It is a great day to be a Spartan. And indeed, what a remarkable day it is. I'm honored to stand here before you, the class of 2016, on the occasion of your graduation. As Professor Wallace noted, not only is it a milestone for you, your last year here, but it's a milestone for me in that I've made it, I think, through my first year here. It's been a privilege to get to know many of you. As you know, I like to travel around the campus in the Warrior Whip and talk to folks. And I've gotten an opportunity to speak to a lot of you. It's been a privilege to settle into this remarkable campus and community and to become part of the UNCG family. You're going to have to forgive me a little bit today. I've been 30 years in California and had forgotten that I had allergies. And so I've come to North Carolina and discovered once again that I have them. So I'll be sniffling a little bit through this, not because I'm crying, at least not yet. You all are new members of another family today. You're Spartan alums. And you know, it's been an interesting year for me to be part of this Spartan family. I've heard stories about the family, as you hear with all families, but I've heard stories from the students, and it's been reflective of the wonderful diversity of our student body, the stories that I've heard about your educational journeys. Some of you have talked to me about being the first in your family to go to college. Others have talked to me about continuing a family legacy of going to University of North Carolina, Greensboro. Some of you have come to campus knowing exactly what you wanted to study. and others of you have needed a little bit more time to figure out what you wanted to study. And I've also been struck by how many of you have overcome tremendous obstacles and adversity to be sitting here today. So regardless of your own personal circumstance, I think one of the things that strikes me about our students and about this class is that our students believe in giving back. So not only have they taken this opportunity to further their education, but they have given back to the community in terms of service. And I know so many of you have participated in the community and have been part of service projects throughout the community. And what this sort of points out to me is the sense of optimism and hope and service that has come to define this university. Winston Churchill once said, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. You are here today because you look at the prospect of completing your degree. You saw it as an opportunity, knowing that it might be difficult. You took it on anyway. You know, what does Jay-Z say? You brushed the dirt off your shoulders and you got to work. Because after all, most of the sweetest things in life are hard-won. This isn't the end, you know. This is really just the beginning. UNCG will be your alma mater, and you will be part of a legacy that has been about pushing boundaries. The very founders of this great institution understood that. They did difficult things. You know the history, that this was started as a college for young women, the women's college as it became known. But it wasn't enough that young women were supposed to just be teachers. The leaders of the institution in the early days recognized that young women also needed to be schooled in the liberal arts. And it sounds so bizarre to say today, but in the beginning of the 20th century, the late 19th century, that was a radical idea. And we continue this tradition today. So you see, we believe that students need to be widely educated, much as people like Charles Duncan McKeever did, that you needed to learn about history and literature and about art and mathematics. You need to have a wide and well-read background to be a contributing citizen in this society. And it's not the path of least resistance. It wasn't the path of least resistance then, and it's not now. But they took this path and did it with persistence. UNCG is a university that is about two things, really. It is about opportunity. It's a university that has a legacy of opportunity, and it's a university about excellence. And you've wholeheartedly embraced this mission. As you know, we've been named by Princeton Review as one of the best colleges for 17 straight years. We have top-ranked programs in human development and family studies and nursing and business and kinesiology. And our counseling and education development program is now ranked number 2 in the country. We're the School of Ed folks. They're not around here. But come on now. Take your props when you get them. Our School of Music, Theater, and Dance alums are appearing on Broadway, which I saw some this spring. They are winning Grammys. We are about excellence, people. We're known for our community engagement. We're known for promoting healthy lives, for building stronger and better communities, We're working together to improve our own lives and the lives of others. And when you leave this campus, I want you to remember that your work is not done. As I said, this is just the beginning. You are now Spartans for life, and that carries a responsibility. This degree does not entitle you to things, it provides a responsibility. And that responsibility is for you to continue to live to the mission of this university. Take your opportunities, seize them. Don't let them pass you by. Don't be afraid. And pursue excellence. Continue to pursue excellence. You've come this far, and you've done much, and we're proud to call you members of the Spartan family. And we're really interested to see how far you will go, and we know you will go far. Now, before I close, I want to recognize some other people here. My wife Jackie and I are parents to a recent college grad, and we have a high school senior that's on his way to college in the coming year. So as parents, we recognize that our students don't take this journey alone. And here today, I want to recognize the parents and grandparents and family members who have stood by these students. Students, I want you to stand up and applaud your families. Stand up and applaud your families. Y'all didn't get here by yourselves. These people up here supported you, probably did a little laundry for you, answered those calls at 2 in the morning, and gave you a couple bucks. The parents are like, yeah. Excuse me. Class of 2016, I'm proud to be a part of welcoming you into the next phase of your lives. May you have the courage to embrace complexity. May you seek greater understanding and seek to affect positive change in your community. And following our founders' footsteps, never shy away from a difficult thing. So I want you to come back to see us, be a part of the Spartan Alumni Network. And finally, I want to offer congratulations. Thank you.
Good morning. As a fellow Spartan, and on behalf of the entire University of North Carolina Board of Governors and UNC President Margaret Spellings, it's my great pleasure to bring greetings today to the graduates, their families, to this distinguished university's faculty and staff, alumni, Board of Trustees, members of the Platform Party, and especially Chancellor Frank Gilliam. This is Chancellor Gilliam's first spring commencement at UNCG. I had the honor of interviewing Chancellor Gilliam last May. His energy and enthusiasm for UNCG is invigorating. Even when he's got a cold, he still has tons of energy. He is off to a very impressive start, and we are so excited to have him as part of the system. So a hand for Chancellor Gilliam. Graduates, today we're here to celebrate your hard work and accomplishments. I'd also like to acknowledge those students who have balanced work and school as well as family obligations. UNCG continues to serve a large number of non-traditional students that braved coming back and those that have worked their way through school. You should receive special acknowledgement for that additional effort and accomplishment. You probably know many people in your lives that have had to make sacrifices, sometimes even stopping out of school. I would encourage you, today's graduates, to pay it forward by inspiring and helping your friends, family, work colleagues consider a path to degree completion. You've seen what your hard work can do for you, and you've got that route. Now help share that with others. There are roughly 1 million North Carolinians with some college credit but no degree, maybe some in this room. Recent system changes make it easier to transfer credits from other schools and community colleges. Online education options are now available, and programs like UNCG's Degrees Matter provide specialized counseling, helping non-traditional students achieve their goals and adapt to the changing job market. Graduates, encourage those around you and help them pursue their dreams as well. It's also important today for us to acknowledge the contributions of the faculty and staff of UNC Greensboro, especially those teachers who helped, encouraged, and provided you the proper guidance to succeed. There are a number of faculty members on this campus who exemplify outstanding teaching. Today, I want to recognize one of them. It's my privilege this year to present the Board of Governors Award of Excellence in Teaching to one of your most outstanding faculty members. Established by the board to underscore the importance of teaching and to reward great teachers across the university, the awards are given annually to a tenured faculty member from each UNC campus, so just one person gets the award. Recipients are nominated by special committee on their home campuses and selected by the Board of Governors Committee of Personnel and Tenure. Each winner receives a bronze medallion and a cash award. This year's recipient of the UNC Greensboro, this year's recipient from UNC Greensboro is Dr. Gregory Grieve. Dr. Grieve, if you please come forward. In Dr. Grieve's 13 years, he's made an indelible mark in teaching, research, and service at UNCG. Dr. Grieve is the department head of religious studies and is highly productive and a respected researcher with numerous articles, monographs, and book chapters in the study of everyday religious practices in Buddhism and other religions such as Christianity, Neo-paganism, and Hinduism. Dr. Grieve is a former Lloyd's International Honors Fellow. Dr. Grieve has worked extensively with UNCG's Speaking Center and helped found the Digital Media Center. Dr. Grieve's stated goal is to educate students in the civil and thoughtful discourse of religion. That is to bring a student to a level of understanding that starts with Ricker's first naivete, the practice of one's religion taken at face value, to Ricker's second naivete, how to critically evaluate and intelligently discuss religion as a scholarly topic in the context of society and history, and not as simply a personal private view. His goal is not to turn people away from religion, but to have students think more deeply about their own beliefs, as well as understand the implications that other faith systems have on the world around them. Because of this, his students are better prepared to navigate an ever-growing and complex multicultural world. Students have consistently praised his enthusiasm, his humor, and energy in the classroom, and he's inspired several students to a new generation of religious scholarship. One former student said, "Gregory Grieve single-handedly stands as the most influential professor I've ever had." What a compliment. In each and every course, Dr. Grieve merges scholarship with teaching, and his research interests are integrated at all levels of this teaching. In his courses, Dr. Grieve emphasizes critical thinking and logical, clear communication. He believes that critical thinking develops their power to perceive the way they exist in the world with which and in which they find themselves. Through critically thinking about religion, media, and popular culture, students come to see the world not as a static reality, but as a reality in process, in transformation. And it's with this belief Dr. Grieve has become a leader in the application of digital technologies to religion studies. Dr. Grieve has recognized and embraced the potential that social media, gaming technology, and video games have in facilitating student exploration of new perspectives on religion and their conceptualization of how religion and religious values translates into pervasive aspects of society. Dr. Grieve, we celebrate your outstanding professional achievement and salute your demonstrated commitment to great teaching and inspiring a new generation of learners. In honoring you, we also acknowledge the more than 14,000 dedicated faculty members who serve 220,000 students throughout the University of North Carolina. Congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brittany Hudson, and it brings me great pleasure to bring you greetings on behalf of the 93rd session of the Student Government Association. It has been an honor to serve as your student body president, and even more of an honor to stand before you on our special day. Whether you started your collegiate journey at UNCG or you transferred here, whether you're first generation or someone who has never even lived on campus, you did it. Know that your journey is just that, your journey. It's what has made you unique, and it's what has gotten you to this place today. I had the pleasure of sitting on the platform during the December 2015 commencement ceremony. As many of you know, during the ceremony in December, each and every graduate's name is called, and they're to walk across the stage. And usually right after your name is called, family, friends, and even classmates cheer you on as you walk across. As I was sitting on the stage watching each name be called, there was one person in particular who stood out to me. This gentleman had just given his card with his name on it to the reader, and before she could even read his entire name, he just started clapping and cheering for himself. It wasn't anything major, and I'm sure a lot of people did not even notice it, but my heart instantly was filled with so much joy because his action displayed pride, satisfaction, and self-fulfillment. You see, this young man knew the magnitude of his accomplishment. He probably thought about how much hard work, how many sacrifices that were made, how many apples he had to lay at Minerva before exams. I don't know what factors got him to where he was, but that is beside the point. He did not wait on the reader to finish reading his name before he started cheering. He didn't wait on anyone from the audience to scream and yell for him. And I thought, wow, this is how we need to be in life. Sometimes you may not have anyone cheering you on, but you all need to be so proud of yourself, so fulfilled that you don't wait on the acknowledgement, recognition, or applause of anyone. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. You have to empower yourself. There are some individuals sitting in here today ready to turn their tassel that were doubted or told they would never be able to graduate college or much less graduate school. But guess what? You did. And if you didn't do it for anyone else, you did it for yourself. There is so much potential in each and every one of you. I can't begin to express the awe I'm in and the amount of talent I have witnessed displayed here at UNCG by our very own students. Yes, times will get hard, that's life. But remember, you are strong enough to conquer anything life throws at you. Congratulations to those of you going on to further your education and to those of you with job offers lined up. To those of you taking some time to just travel the world, please take me with you. And for those of you that have no clue what you are going to do or what you want to do, that is okay. You are where you need to be. I'm in a room full of movers and shakers, and my only hope is that today and forward, you just prosper. The world is yours. Invest in yourself, invest in others, invest in this world, and don't forget to invest back into UNCG. Because once you're a Spartan, you're always a Spartan. Once again, welcome everyone, and congratulations to the class of 2016.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mary Napier, and it is my pleasure to bring you greetings from the UNCG Alumni Association. Congratulations, graduates of the class of 2016. And now your UNCG alumni family welcomes you. You are part of a proud tradition, and you are the energy of the future. You are joining the ranks of UNCG alumni who have sat where you are today and have gone on to achieve success in countless fields of endeavor. This moment is the end of a college experience, but it is also the beginning of something new. You are preparing to begin a new phase that will take you to places and opportunities unimagined. You have formed bonds here that will last a lifetime. Treasure and keep those friends and connections you have made, and be grateful for those people in your lives whose support and encouragement helped you get here today. In a short time, you will say goodbye to one another and scatter wherever life takes you. As you begin your next chapter, wherever you may be, Keep your memories of UNCG close. Stay connected to your alma mater and to your alumni family. We're here for you. And whenever you have a chance, come home to UNCG. Again, congratulations. There's a wonderful world out there waiting for your talent, energy, and ideas. And wherever you go, near or far, wear your Spartan pride. Thank you, and keep in touch.
This is beautiful. Good morning, good people. I'm gonna try that one more time. Good morning, good people. Good morning. That's right, that's right. I am Christopher McCoy, and it is my pleasure to bring greetings from the May graduating class of 2016. As I begin, if you are here in support of someone who is graduating today, please make some noise. On behalf of the graduating class of May 2016, we say thank you, we love you, and we appreciate you. Now, for my fellow graduates, if you are graduating today, make some noise, please. Nah, it's not good enough. I said if you are graduating today, make some noise, please. Today is the day we've all been waiting for. The day where all of our hard work and efforts results in our walking across this stage. My fellow Spartan brothers and sisters, repeat after me, please. Today is our day. That's right. It is the day where we reflect on our journeys up until this point. We recall the multitudes of papers we had to finesse, write. The long hours of studying we had to endure, and the columns of overpriced books we had to purchase and couldn't sell back, but all so that we could make it here. As I recall my journey, I can sum it up with 3 important tools that I learned throughout my college career. And I believe it is with these tools that we will be successful collectively as we continue past this point today. First, follow your passion and not the money. Too often have we been told how important the first job we get after graduation is without being told the real reason as to why it is important. The assumption is that the first job we get after graduation needs to put us on the path of obtaining wealth, that money is essentially that thing we should be pursuing or chasing. However, this is a mistake. Whether or not the first job we get after graduation sets us up for large financial gain is not what's important. What is important, however, is that the first job after we get puts us on the trajectory to living our dreams and pursuing our passions. Now, don't misunderstand me. Money is important. We need it to survive in our society. However, money is not our passion. Money is but a perk we gain from pursuing our passions. The goal in this life is to live it full and to have it sustain us, to be satisfying. If we declare that money is our passion, we will never be satisfied because we will never have enough of it. I encourage us to chase a purposeful life and not just a paperful life. Second, when you make a decision, commit to your decision. In this life, we will be faced with decisions that we will have to make each and every day. Some decisions will be more easily made than others. However, every decision we make will have its own consequences and rewards. We will not always know the consequences of our decisions before we make them. In this life, we will not always know what hardships or difficulties or obstacles we will be faced with and be expected to overcome. But we do know that we will not give up without a fight. Just like that biology class or that chemistry class or that organic chemistry class or
that linear algebra class that we had to take, and all we needed was a C to pass it. 1 month into the semester, we were already saying, as long as I get that C, I'll be all right. But let me explain something. The moment we accepted that C is the moment we denied an A from becoming our reality. Don't let your life story follow the same narrative. When life gets hard in pursuit of your dreams, don't give up and settle for mediocrity. Don't deny yourself the opportunity to obtain that thing you want so badly. Les Brown once said, there is no point in having a goal if you aren't going to pursue it. Granted, life is uncertain, and success is not promised. One thing certainly is true, however. If you give up on your dreams when life gets hard, you may never become that success you were destined to be. You may never become that person you were destined to be or leave that legacy that you were destined to leave. But if you have the faith not to give up and to stay committed, you may be surprised with how great life can be. Remember, too, that regardless of what your dreams may be, you will not be able to obtain them alone, which leads me to my third point. Surround yourself with success-minded people. Throughout our college careers, we have burned a few bridges and built some new ones. Some bonds have been broken while others have been strengthened. As we continue through life, it will be essential that we surround ourselves with people who are going to be supportive and uplift us in our pursuits. Think of any successful person that there has ever been. All of them have had someone to help them become successful. We will be no different. Our success, to a degree, is dependent on the people we associate with, so watch who you have around you. My fellow Spartans, look to your left and to your right. Look in front of you and behind you. Each of us has a dream, and all of us want to be successful, am I right? All of us want to be successful, am I right? Okay, I was making sure who I was talking to now. A quote from my favorite book says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. It will... Always remember to cherish and nurture the bonds we have created throughout our college careers. You may never know who you may need or who may need you. In conclusion, as we walk across this stage, we begin the transition. We step out of familiarity, leaving our comfort zones behind. And we step into a world that offers uncertainty, confusion, hardship, setbacks, and even pain. This world also offers happiness unlike anything we have experienced thus far, success unlike anything we could anticipate, and opportunities beyond our wildest dreams. With each step we take, we write new chapters into the books of our lives. You see, we are like novels. Our lives, rather, are like novels, and we are the writers and holders of the pen. I hope that as we continue through life, we write a story worth reading. My fellow Spartans, repeat after me. Today is my day. All right, we're going to try that one more time, but say it with conviction. Today is my day. Today is your day. Today is our day. That's right. Follow your passions. Stick with your decisions. And cherish the bonds that we have formed and will form. Believe in something bigger than yourself and trust in your process. It is then will we truly embody the slogan of our proud university, which is to do something bigger all together. Thank you, congratulations, and thank you.
Denise Turner Roth is a 21st Senate confirmed administrator of the U.S. General Services Administration, known as the GSA. As administrator, she leads the GSA's efforts in delivering the best value in real estate acquisition and technology services. GSA provides workspace to more than 1 million federal civilian workers, oversees the preservation of more than 480 historic buildings, and facilitates the federal government's purchase of goods and services from commercial vendors. It's a big job. Her dedication to public service began on Capitol Hill. She served in the office of Congressman Jim Moran. Later, she was a special assistant for legislative affairs in the office of the District of Columbia's mayor, Anthony Williams, and was the public space manager for the district's Department of Transportation. She holds a bachelor's degree in government and politics from George Mason University, which also awarded her an honorary doctorate in 2015. She is also a graduate of the Public Executive Leadership Academy at UNC Chapel Hill. As a city manager for the city of Greensboro from 2012 to 2014, her leadership helped pave the way for several creative management changes in the city, including the reorganization of the city's departments and divisions to promote efficiency and improve service delivery. She was vice president for governmental affairs at the Greensboro Partnership, and she successfully advocated for $60 million in state funds to form the UNCG NCA&T State's Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering. Additionally, she's been on the UNCG Board of Visitors from 2008 to 2011. It's my extreme honor and pleasure to present Administrator Denise Turner Roth.
Thank you, Chancellor Gilliam, and thank you, Christopher. That was just excellent. But most of all, to the graduates, to the Spartans, your hard work is paid off. Congratulations. Give yourselves a round of applause. My name is Denise Roth, and I am the administrator of the U.S. General Services Administration. So this is a point at a reception or a cocktail party when, after an awkward moment or two of silence, I hear, "You're what? Who's administrative assistant? Oh, I get it. You're the GSA Administrator Secretary." So that's when my inner dialogue goes a little bit like this. Okay, so deep breath. Let's see. Well, my business card says that I work for the United States General Services Administration, and that I am the, yes, it definitely says that I not only work there, but I'm head of the agency, hired by the President, confirmed by the U.S. Senate. I was confirmed unanimously. I lead a 12,000 person strong organization and over $30 billion budget. That's the inner monologue. Outwardly, I just smile. And they probably interpret the smile to mean, yes, I understand why you think I am not who I am. That it somehow is odd, that it doesn't compute that someone like me has made something of herself. But let me be very clear. My understanding smile is by no means a concession to those who may think less of me. If anything, the smile is just an expedient way to bypass them and to remind myself that it does not matter what others think of me. This is at the heart of what I want to share with you today. It does not matter what others think about us. What stands out most in our life's journey is what we think of ourselves, how we assess and develop and apply our talents. This is the only measure of who we are and what we can achieve. In a sense, it's a pretty simple realization, except that it can take a really long time to take to heart and internalize. And to tell you the truth, every now and then I have to remind myself of who I am and what I am capable of. Because those doubts that we have about ourselves, they never really go away. We just learn to manage them, contextualize them, do a little jujitsu with them, and begin to see the problems and challenges of our lives as gifts and opportunities. My first reaction when I was asked to speak today With surprise. Who, me? Because commencement speeches aren't given by people like me. They're given by serious-minded, seasoned men and women who want to share with you and impart to you complex wisdom. And that's definitely not me. My message is really very straightforward. Believe in yourself. That's it. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and my story so they can get a sense of what I mean. The core difference between the me that is standing before you today and the me who first walked on my university campus is that the now me is able to smile and recover more quickly than when those others may look at me dismissively. I am now better equipped to remind the girl who launched her career in adult life just as you are today that she is someone with something to say. And here it is. At this very moment, you are riding a wave of excitement and just thrilled. And your immediate concern is probably, when is this Roth lady going to stop talking so I can go celebrate with my friends and family? Fair enough, I understand. And I won't take much of your time. But tomorrow, when you wake up, you will have a moment that says, oh no, what am I going to do with my life now? I've worked hard to get here. I've sacrificed. I've worked a job or two. But the guy to my left and the woman to my right, they've worked just as hard. They've sacrificed just as much. How will I measure up? How will I stand out? It's perfectly natural and normal to have these ideas and these thoughts and to ask yourselves these questions. But in the end, they're the wrong questions to ask. It's only once you understand this that the sweat you're going to break out into tomorrow morning will dissipate. And you'll realize that the question to ask is not what am I going to be, but who am I? And when it hits you that you've already begun to answer this question, that asking and answering this question is what has brought you to where you are today, that's when you know that you've taken your first step in taking control of your lives. I'm from a neighborhood in Southeast Washington, D.C., known as Anacostia. Good to hear some Washingtonians here. It's also known as east of the river. This is a place where tourists and lobbyists and members of Congress are told about. They're told to avoid, that is. And in my neighborhoods, most everybody faced some form of adversity. My family did. Have you ever had a sugar sandwich? Growing up in the 80s, I witnessed the early stages of the drug epidemic and that the impact that crack cocaine had on inner cities. And in that setting, some chose to approach life with optimism, while others became overwhelmed by the negativity and gave in to temptation. I was fortunate enough to be surrounded by people that were full of optimism, a strong circle of guidance and strength. The nuns at school encouraged me and took me into the convents. My brother and cousin, regardless of the circumstances in their lives, made sure I made it to school every day and on time. And my mom, she cleaned floors to make our family's ends meet and to take care of our family. But then she had an opportunity to benefit from a public-private program that helped her get her GED and become a banker. Well, actually, she was a bank teller, but she'll always be a banker to me. And Mom, she took that job, and it really, truly made a difference to our family. And looking back, I truly appreciate all that she did. But it wasn't easy. Imagine what it's like to grow up in a neighborhood like mine, wearing a uniform and walking to school. I was bombarded with negative messages. Who do you think you are? You're never going to get out of here. But walking to and from class every day, I looked west of the Anacostia River. And somewhere in the distance, if not just a little hazy, but in the distance, I could see the Capitol Dome. And I knew that that was at the heart of the opportunities that had been created for my family. and I knew that that's what I wanted to achieve one day. And over the course of the many walks I took, I decided that that would be my career, that I wanted to create the same opportunities for other communities and other boys and girls to take the same walk. I wanted to be someone who was a part of that. And that's how I began to form an identity, to learn to take those same steps and to figure out who I was. For me, higher education played a pivotal role in this process. To be sure, I learned a lot in the classroom, new theories, facts, and so on. But more than all of this, my university experience exposed me to a whole world, many worlds in fact, that I didn't know existed. And like many of you, I grew up around people who looked and thought and sounded and had a background similar to mine. And in order to figure out who I was, I had to take risk. I had to expose myself to the breadth and depth of unfamiliar experiences. I had to challenge long-held assumptions. And college is where all this begins. It's where we are first exposed to a diversity of opinions and experiences and identities. This, in the end, is a core lesson of my university experiences, that the path to discovering who we are begins by opening ourselves up to the unfamiliar. The achievements you celebrate today are a major step along this route, and I hope that your success fills you with massive confidence. But I too hope that you have just a little bit of humility, because for all of your intelligence and knowledge, there will be times when you will be wrong. And the only thing wrong about making mistakes is ignoring them and denying them and not learning from them. You will find guidance and wisdom and support in unexpected places. Be on the lookout for it. Welcome it. And no matter how well educated you are, you will constantly face unusual and foreign experiences. Don't be threatened by them. Appreciate them. Embrace them. And finally, you will meet a dizzying array of exciting, unfamiliar, challenging, wonderful people. Each and every one of them has the potential to help you grow, no matter their ethnicity, no matter their political affiliation, and no matter the identity that they embrace. So I say to you graduates today, you have a mission to go out into this world, to be bold and confident, and truly embody the themes that the University of North Carolina at Greensboro community of excellence and opportunity for all. This is how you will find out who you are. Congratulations, class of 2016. Thank you and Godspeed.
Thank you, Ms. Roth, for those very thoughtful and inspiring words. My name is Susan Safran, and I'm the chair of the University of North Carolina at Greensboro Board of Trustees. Yeah. But most important, I'm a graduate of the UNCG School of Nursing. There we go. At this time, it is my pleasure to recognize all degree candidates and to authorize Chancellor Gilliam to confirm the degrees. Speaking for the Board of Trustees of this university and acting under the delegation of powers by the Board of Governors of the University of North Carolina, I authorize you, Chancellor Franklin Gilliam, Jr., to confer the appropriate degrees upon the candidates approved by the faculties.
We're getting close to time. Today, UNCG will award approximately 2,466 earned degrees in the following categories: 1,788 baccalaureate degrees, 587 master's degrees, 17 specialist in education degrees, 74 doctoral degrees, and 84 of these degrees will be awarded to international students. These figures represent students who are completing their degrees here now in May. In addition to the degrees that are awarded today, we also wish to recognize the recipients of the Integrative Community Studies Certificate that were awarded earlier this week. University of North Carolina at Greensboro, in conjunction with its nonprofit agency partner Beyond Academics, has pioneered an innovative program of study for young adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Established in 2007, the Integrative Community Studies program is North Carolina's first and only 4-year university certificate program of study. It promotes personal growth and development of these students, provided within a richly diverse and inclusive environment. Graduates have demonstrated their capabilities for living on their own, for attaining employment of their choice, and for meaningful involvement in the community. Will the graduates of the Integrative Community Studies please stand and let us recognize you? It doesn't say this in my script, but I must say that when I run into these students on campus, they are the first to come up and greet me, and I think it's terrific. So now, I'm supposed to remain standing. And Professor Wallace is going to continue.
Don't go far away. We need you here. Chancellor Gilliam, I have the honor to present William Black, who has been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
William Black, your extraordinary life of service to North Carolina and to UNCG is an example and inspiration to today's graduates and to countless others. You are a Greensboro resident, a graduate of Chapel Hill, and a retired executive of Southern National Bank, now known as BB&T. Chaired the Greensboro Merchants Association and the boards of the Greensboro Historical Museum and the Salvation Army of Greensboro. Been a board member for the Greensboro Development Corporation, the Guilford County Veterans Memorial, the Greensboro Preservation Society, the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce, and the Greensboro Sports Council. Bill's service to UNCG has been exemplary. He's been president of the Excellence Foundation. He's been a member of the UNCG Board of Visitors and has been part of the School of Music's steering committees for the Students First campaign. In 2007, he received the Holderness Weaver Award. He's a member in our Harriet Elliott Society, the Unbroken Band, and the Founders Society. Mr. Black has established 4 scholarships at UNCG, the William F. Black and Susan Elizabeth Brown Endowed Music Scholarship in the School of Music, Theater, and Dance, the J. Norman Black and William F. Black Endowed Business Scholarship for the Joseph M. Bryan School of Business and Economics, the William F. and Joanne F. Black RN to BSN Scholarship in Nursing for the School of Nursing, and the Joanne F. and William F. Black Adult Student Scholarship in Education for the School of Education. Through your philanthropic vision and tireless public service, your life and character have become interwoven into our community and into the state. William Black, acting on the recommendation of the faculty of the university, is conveyed by Provost Dunn and Dr. Wallace, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the University of North Carolina, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all of its rights, honors, and responsibility. Stephen Hayes is going to come up and accept this. honorary degree for Mr. Black. Steve is the director of the Miles Davis Jazz Studies program in our School of Music, Theater, and Dance. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Black in absentia.
Will Harold Schiffman please come forward? Chancellor Gilliam, I have the honor to present Harold Schiffman, who has been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
Mr. Schiffman, your involvement and creativity in the performing arts has enriched us all. You are a Greensboro native and degree recipient from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, University of California, Berkeley, and Florida State University. You were appointed to the faculty of Florida State in the School of Music in 1959 and retired from the position of Professor of Composition in 1983. As a member of ASCAP, you are well respected nationally and internationally for your music compositions. These compositions are presented in Europe, in Latin America, in the Far East, and in the early 90s, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill honored you with an all-Schiffman concert of performances. And in 1998, New York City's Alice Tully Hall in Lincoln Center hosted a 25-year retrospective of your compositions. With regards to UNCG, you've served admirably as a representative on the School of Music, Theater, and Dance's Music National Advisory Board from 2000 to 2006. The Music Library of the UNC University Libraries was recently named for you in honor of your generous gift, and thank you for that. And you have given dance scholarships, given to the university libraries, the music library, the Hodges Special Collections, and the university archives. Harold Schiffman, acting on the recommendation of the faculty of the university, as conveyed by Provost Dunn and Dr. Wallace, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the University of North Carolina, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, with all of its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Congratulations. Congratulations. And I think we're going to presenting with the diploma. Excuse me. Dr. William Weiner, Dean of the Graduate School, will now present the candidates for graduate degrees. Joe?
Thank you, Chancellor Gilliam. Good morning, everyone. Will the candidates recommended for doctoral degrees please stand? Chancellor Gilliam, I have the honor to present and to recommend the candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, or Doctor of Musical Arts.
Acting on the recommendation of the graduate faculty as conveyed by Dean Weiner and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the University of North Carolina, I hereby confer the degree upon those of you who have met the requirements for the doctoral degree for which you have been recommended, with all of its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Congratulations. Please come forward to receive your diplomas. You will be hooded by your committee chair and co-chair. So you're supposed to go to the right, I'm supposed to go to the left.
Jennifer E. Weiland, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Kimberly S. Peterson. Michael Bedsole, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Anthony Kuda. Matthew Charles Carter, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Jennifer Feather. Allison M. Johnson, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Jennifer Feather. Melissa Ridley Elms, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Amy Vines. Kathleen D. Fowler, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Christopher Hodgkins. Kathleen T. Lucian, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Nancy Myers. Sally Lynn Smits-Maston, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Karen Kilcup. Joseph Byron Sloop, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Keith Debbage. Hannah Grace Dudley Shotwell, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Lisa Levenstein. Margaret Keaton Williams, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Charles Bolton. Victoria Scott Brown, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Nancy Nelson Hodges. Michael James Hall, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Dennis Layden. Joshua Landon Price, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Christopher Swan. James Gray Kimbrough III, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. David Rebar. Wiley S. Brown, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Prashant Palvia. Stephen A. Wallace, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Lakshmi Iyer. Sherry's D. Childers McKee, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Sylvia Betez. Libra Nicole Boyd, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Catherine Hitton. Matthew Aaron Thomas Reed, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Glenn Hudak. Kashana C. Askew, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Terry A. Ackerman. Aurora Fain Barker, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Belinda J. Harden and Dr. Jean Kang. Aaron Workman Benavides, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Catherine E. Matthews and Dr. Samuel Miller. Mary Callis Ash, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Catherine E. Matthews. Stephanie Lee Davis, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Barbara B. Levin. Betty Mabe, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Denise Tucker. Angelica S. Dunbar, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Esther Lurkes and Dr. Andrew Supple. Nan Cho, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Cheryl Bueller. Amy Van Shagen Johnson, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Danielle Crosby and Dr. Karen M. Laparo. Elizabeth King, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Karen M. Laparo. Teresa Cameron Sumrall, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Catherine Scott Little. Matthew W. Whitstein, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Christopher Ray. Jeffrey Bruce Taylor, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Sandra Schultz. Shinmin Wang, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Randy Schmitz. Kimberly Sue Fazeski, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Diane L. Gill. Tan Zhang, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Ang Chen. Alexandra Babic, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Jennifer Thaler Arauskin. Meredith Rappert Gringle, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Tracy Nichols. Kristen Blanton, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. James Revel Carr and Dr. Rebecca McLeod. Karen Sanders Thomas, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Donald A. Hodges and Dr. Constance L. McCoy. Jacqueline Joy Ritorto Secoy, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Constance L. McCoy. Elaine Kelly Smith, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Brett Nolker. Sarah Miller Massey, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Patricia Sink. Betty Nance Floyd, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Robin Bartlett. Pandora Robbins Good, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Robin Bartlett and Dr. Deborah C. Wallace. Francine Hebert Shepard, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Deborah C. Wallace. Meilan Chen, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Susan Letvak. Yvonne R. Ford, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Susan Letvak. Denise C. Rue, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Susan Letvak. Oday Abdelrazak Hayajne, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Louise Ivanov. Stephen Ray Meyer, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Joseph Starobin. Kyle Stephen Nolan, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. James Ryan. Lakmini S. Premadasa, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Ethan W. Taylor. Candace Curry Bailey, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Carl Lashley. Gail Denise Brady, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Carl Lashley. Giancarlos McThurston Miller, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Carl Lashley. Leslie Marie Eldrith, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Ulrich C. Reitzug. Charles William Perkins, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Ulrich C. Reitzug and Dr. Kimberly Kapler-Hewitt. Melissa Jill Hall, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Kimberly Kapler-Hewitt. Douglas Christopher Black, Jr., Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Dennis W. Askew. Andrew Timothy Phillips, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Dennis W. Askew. Adam Michael Snow, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Dennis W. Askew. Sheen Gao, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Steven Stusek. Russell Allen Smith, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Mark Clodfelter.
Oh, that's okay. Please join me in congratulating all of our new doctors. Congratulations, and please be seated. Will the candidates recommended to receive master's degrees please stand as your school and degree are recognized and remain standing? Will the graduate degree candidates in the College of Arts and Sciences for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Public Affairs, or Masters of Science please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the Joseph M. Bryan School of Business and Economics for the Master of Arts, Master of Science, or Master of Business Administration please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the School of Education for the Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, Master of Library and Information Studies, Master of School Administration, or Master of Science, please stand. Will the graduate degree candidates in the School of Health and Human Sciences for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Public Health, Master of Science in Athletic Training, or Master of Social Work, please stand. Will the graduate degree candidates in the School of Music, Theater, and Dance for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Fine Arts, or Master of Music please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering for the Master of Science please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the School of Nursing for the Master of Science in Nursing please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the Division of Continual Learning for the Master of Arts degree please stand? Chancellor Gilliam, I have the honor to present and to recommend for the appropriate degree the candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the master's degrees just cited.
Acting on the recommendation of the graduate faculty as conveyed by Dean Weiner and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the University of North Carolina, I hereby confer the degree upon those of you who have met the requirements for the master's degree for which you have been recommended, with all of its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the master's degree. Will the doctoral and specialist in education degree recipients please stand along with the master's degree recipients? There. Congratulations to each of you for your outstanding achievement. Please be seated. Dr. Dana Dunn, Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor, will now lead us in recognizing our baccalaureate degree candidates.
Are we ready? It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Timothy Johnson, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, who will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the college.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates with majors in the College of Arts and Sciences recommended to receive the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, or Bachelor of Science, please stand as your department or major is called and remain standing. The African American and African Diaspora Studies Program. The Department of Anthropology. The Department of Art. The Department of Biology. The Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry. The Department of Classical Studies. the Department of Communication Studies, the Department of Computer Science, the Department of English, the Department of Geography, the Department of History, the Department of Interior Architecture, the Department of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures, the Department of Mathematics and Statistics, the Department of Media Studies, the Department of Philosophy, the Department of Physics and Astronomy, the Department of Political Science, the Department of Psychology, the Department of Religious Studies, the Department of Sociology, the Women's and Gender Studies program, special programs in liberal studies, including archaeology, environmental studies, humanities, integrated science, international and global studies, and social sciences, and finally, majors in independent studies programs. Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates from the College of Arts and Sciences. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Dr. McCrae Banks, Dean of the Joseph M. Bryan School of Business and Economics, will now present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the school.
Thank you, Provost Dunn. Will the baccalaureate degree candidates with majors in the best business school in North Carolina, the Joseph M. Bryan School of Business and Economics, recommended to receive the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, please stand as your department is called and remain standing, and you may cheer as well. Department of Accounting and Finance. Department of Consumer, Apparel, and Retail Studies. Department of Economics. Department of Information Systems and Supply Chain Management. Department of Management. Department of Marketing, Entrepreneurship, Hospitality, and Tourism Management. Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates from the Joseph M. Bryan School of Business and Economics. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Dr. Randy Penfield, interim, soon-to-be Dean of the School of Education, will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the school.
Thank you, Provost Dunn. Will the candidates in the School of Education recommended to receive the degree of Bachelor of Science please stand as your major is called and remain standing? Elementary education, middle grades education, professions in deafness, special education, and the dual major in elementary education and special education. Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Education. Congratulations to you all, and you may please be seated.
Dr. Celia Hooper, Dean of the School of Health and Human Sciences, will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the school.
Will the candidates with majors in the School of Health and Human Sciences recommended to receive the degrees of Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Social Work please stand as your department is called and remain standing? Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders. Department of Community and Therapeutic Recreation. Department of Human Development and Family Studies. Department of Kinesiology. Department of Nutrition. Department of Peace and Conflict Studies. Department of Public Health Education. Department of Social Work. Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Health and Human Sciences.
Dr. Peter Alexander, Dean of the School of Music, Theater, and Dance, will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from that school.
This commencement marks a very special moment as the University of North Carolina at Greensboro awards today the first Bachelor of Arts degree in Arts Administration. Will the candidate for this degree, Thomas, please stand and be recognized? Will the remaining exquisitely prepared and very talented candidates in the School of Music, Theater, and Dance recommended to receive the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, or Bachelor of Music please stand as your department or major is called and remain standing? Department of Dance. Department of Music Education. Department of Music Performance. Department of Music Studies. Department of Theater. Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Music, Theater, and Dance. Candidates, please be seated.
Dr. Robin Rimsberg, Dean of the School of Nursing, will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from that school.
For all those nurses and new nurses in the audience, happy Nurses Day. Will the candidates in the School of Nursing recommended to receive the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing please stand? Please join me in congratulating the bachelor degree candidates from the School of Nursing. Congratulations. Be seated.
Will all the candidates for the baccalaureate degree please rise? Chancellor Gilliam, I have the honor to present and recommend for the appropriate degree these candidates who have satisfied all the requirements for the baccalaureate degree.
Acting on the recommendation of the faculty as conveyed by Provost Dunn and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the University of North Carolina, I hereby confer the degree upon those of you who have met the requirements for the bachelor's degree for which you have been recommended, with all of its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Congratulations to each one of you. Will all the recipients of our baccalaureate degrees please turn your attention to Catherine Hayantoy and Dylan Tyler for the turning of the tassels.
We have come now to that long-awaited milestone in our lives. The moment when we are no longer students, but graduates of the University of North Carolina of Greensboro. Tradition requires that before graduation, the tassel be worn on the right-hand side of the mortarboard. After graduation, as a symbol of our new status as degree holders, the tassel is worn on the left. As representatives of your May class of 2016, we are privileged to lead you in turning our tassels from right to left, signifying our status as graduates of UNCG. Please join us in turning our tassels.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to University of North Carolina, Greensboro graduating class of May 2016. Please. Please be seated.
In continuing to recognize the excellence at this great university, I would like to acknowledge the undergraduate students who have graduated with special honors. These honors are summa cum laude, which requires a minimum grade point average of 3.9, magna cum laude, which requires a grade point average of 3.7, and cum laude, which requires a grade point average of 3.5. Will the graduates stand as I call your honor designation, and please remain standing while we recognize your achievements. Summa cum laude, please stand. Magna cum laude, please stand. And cum laude, please stand. You have brought great distinction to yourselves and to your university through your achievements. Thank you. Congratulations. Please be seated. The university's disciplinary honors program offers undergraduates the opportunity to complete a rigorous plan of study that complements the work they do in their majors. The capstone of their honors work is the Senior Honors Project, a project of independent scholarship in many ways similar to a master's degree thesis. The students who completed an honors program this year and the titles of their senior honors projects are listed in today's commencement program. Would those of you who achieved this distinction please stand and let us recognize you. Congratulations. Please be seated. Even as we enjoy today's celebration of accomplishment, we remain mindful of the importance of the military in defending our freedoms. We would like to recognize all of our degree candidates who have served our country in the armed forces. Please stand and let us recognize you. Thank you. Please be seated.
I would like the faculty from UNCG to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd like to acknowledge the participation of the following student groups in the ceremony today. The University Marshals, can you stand up, please? They provided leadership throughout the year and are integral to this commencement ceremony. Thank you. Please be seated. The musicians who have been providing our beautiful music today from our nationally recognized School of Music, Theater, and Dance. Please stand. You recognize. And graduating seniors from the Professions in Deafness program in the School of Ed are providing interpretation of the alma mater for us. Thank you. Thank all of you for your contributions and support to the university. I'd like to acknowledge a couple more people and say a few words before we conclude. First, want to thank the UNCG staff, and I'd like for you to give them a round of applause who've put this together today. They've worked very hard to make this day a special day. And before we sing the alma mater and ring the bell, I just want to close with a couple of remarks. Today is a day of celebration. You should be thankful and happy and joyous. You've achieved a great deal. And you enjoy the love and admiration of your families. But I also want us to be mindful of the fact that we have the power to make this world a better place. We're here today, all of us, coming from all walks of life, here to celebrate accomplishment and achievement. We're doing so in peace and harmony. I want to encourage all of us to think about those who are less fortunate, who aren't able to enjoy these privileges that so many of us are. So while we are here to celebrate, I also want us to be grateful. To be grateful. This is a privilege. There are a lot of people tonight who aren't going to celebrate a commencement. They're not going to have dinner with their family. And it is on us, the leaders of this country and this community, to make a difference and to ensure that all of our citizens have the opportunity to participate and excel. So I want us to just be mindful of that in these times, very troubling times. Now, after that downer, I'm going to give you something a little bit more exciting. As is our tradition, the university bell will be rung to honor the May graduates. Today's bell ringers are Miss Nancy Baker Bryan, class of 1966, and Miss Ashley Helms, May class of 2016. Following the ringing of the bell, please be seated and remain seated during the recessional until the faculty and graduates have moved out of the arena. Now will you please stand for the singing of the alma mater and the ringing of the bell.